Okay, now I think we have one public speaker.
Carlos Garcia.
Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, I'm going to make an exception and allow you to speak today. Let me tell you why. We have rules here. You did not follow the rules. Your petition came in an hour and a half after the cutoff deadline, which you know about. I'm sorry? Oh, thank you for correcting that. The 30 minutes or 3 minutes is, we have these rules. So I'm going to let you speak today, but I'm just giving you notice that in the future I expect for you to follow our rules in complying with
I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Thank you, and I will assure you that I will comply by that rule.
You have 3 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Carlos Garcia from Rollback Tolls. I wanted to speak today to the board about the toll rate increases that were discussed here at the workshop a little over a month ago, which is something that doesn't come as a surprise, but is still somewhat shocking to us and a lot of people that we've talked to as MDX embarks on informing the public about what it wants to do, increasing toll rates by 50% on 836 and the 112. We believe that the toll rate increase is completely out of touch with the economic situations of a lot of drivers in South Dade. Knowing that the open road tolling system allows for the capture of almost 25% more revenue without an increase, as has been witnessed on 874 and Kendall, we would ask that the board consider that in and of itself as if it were just kind of an increase, because you're going to be capturing tolls from a lot of people that didn't pay into the system previously. And, we feel from the people that we've talked to, and we've been on our group communicating this to the public through the internet and Twitter and Facebook, people are very, taken back by the fact that you want to increase toll rates by 50%. It's alarming to a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, where's the sense of it? Where is the option? You want to put forth two options of 16 cents and 17 cents a mile. Where is the option of no increase, at this time? And it's something that we feel that, a lot of the funds that would be used, would be captured from this toll rate increase if it was allowed to go forward, would go to projects that a lot of people are opposed to. That the fact that the funds are commingled on a lot of projects that people would not support. One of which is the busway express lane toll project, which, by the way, tomorrow there is a meeting in Pinecrest, which they're holding an open public discussion meeting about the busway. And I'd like to actually bought a flyer about it. I'd like to leave it available if anybody would like information on it. It's tomorrow at Pinecrest Gardens. Pinecrest, Palmetto Bay, and Color Bay are getting together to have a public discussion about the busway. It's just an informational meeting that I think the board should be involved in. But we believe that this toll rate increase, getting back to the toll rate increase, is something that is going to be a lot of opposition from a lot of people. And we would ask that the public be heard, that you really make an effort. Tomorrow is an example of a public meeting that we would like MDX to have more of. I've been to a lot of public meetings about a lot of things, and many people don't show up. And sometimes the people in the room outnumber the public in these public meetings. And I think that tomorrow is a meeting that I think would be something that the directors, I would suggest, would attend. But we would say suffice with the 25% increase of the revenue that the ORT would allow you, and make do with that.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I allowed you to go to 7 minutes, but that's okay. But thank you for
7 minutes.
We will be answering 3 of the things you just stated in the executive director's report. He will be answering those 3 points that you brought up.
Okay.
I thank you very much for your...
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Now the executive director, if you would just answer those 3 things.
And I'm meet with you for a second. Just I need to ask you a question.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, board members, I'm gonna go out of order in my report so I can respond to some of the comments made today. So I'll start the presentation on the town hall meeting tomorrow. And for clarification, this is a town hall meeting that's being hosted by the village of Pinecrest. Our staff, our consultants that are in a PD&E project development environment process will be there to make a presentation of where we are on the project, where we are in its schedule. We have not made any conclusions. Contrary to what Mr. Garcia said, there is no funding for any of this project whatsoever. When we held the workshop on October 2nd for the toll rate setting, we were very clear of the priorities of our projects, and the vast majority of those projects are on State Road 836 to complete those infrastructure projects on 836 east of 57th Avenue. That's where the bulk of the project, where the dollars will go to. We will be there tomorrow night. We will listen, and we will take it in as in any other PD&E process. When we have our transit modeling completed, because one of the steps that we want to complete is transit modeling. The only reason we're in this project was to find funding to improve the busway, to fund crossings at the major intersections so you could increase travel times for the buses. If our modeling proves that that does not make sense, the project stops. There is no other intent of it. We're not replacing US 1. We're not adding an expressway in lieu of US 1. The intent is to create revenue, generate revenue based on the demand, the latent demand that's on US 1. If people want to use it, they can pay for it. That money would go to improve transit. That was the purpose and need of the project. It maintains. It is still the purpose and need, but I need to clarify for the record, the toll rate increases that we're talking about in July of 2014 are for projects that are on our existing system. They're not for projects outside of our system. We have not prioritized those projects. And even with those rate increases, we're still very short from what we need. So I'll leave it at that. As far as the meeting tomorrow night, we did meet with the mayor and staff at Pinecrest. We did give them a presentation and answered many of the questions. They're philosophically opposed to anything that increases vehicular movement. They are more in favor of light rail, heavy rail, metro rail than anything that encourages vehicular movement, and we agreed to disagree on that. We weren't at any point where we can reach a conclusion and defend a conclusion because we're not there in the process. And we are following a federal process. We cannot prejudice the outcome, or we jeopardize potential federal funding for the process. So under that context, we will present tomorrow, board members, and leave it at that. Now, as far as getting the word out, and there is a memo in your folders that I prepared for the board members that lays out the steps that we're going to be following between the workshop that we held October 2nd. Yes, sir.
It's very important to put up front to Mr. Garcia and others that this board has not concluded anything. We have not discussed anything. We're beginning a process of discussion. There are going to be 5 hearings. We're going to talk to every mayor, every legislator, every metro commissioner. We're going to be talking to a lot of people, and we got a long, long, long way to go. This is just, we're doing a due diligence process, so there's nothing, the statement that Mr. Garcia said that we're going to be doubling what? There's been no vote here. There's been no discussion of doubling anything.
Right. So the memo lays out that we have started the briefing of elected officials. Between now and December, we will brief every county commissioner, every member of the Metropolitan Planning Organization, the League of Cities, the Miami-Dade County Legislative Delegation, and the Florida Transportation Commission. We are going to be hosting 5 public review meetings. No different. Public review meetings, no different than the town hall meeting. There will be one in South Dade, there will be one in North Dade, there will be 3 along the corridor. We're even discussing putting a webinar as one of them to make it available to those who can't attend in person. We are required to advertise for these public reviews 27 days prior and 7 days prior in major publications, and we are working with Florida's Turnpike to see if we can get it out to every SunPass user directly. The board also took up a toll policy at the workshop. We already had our first meeting at the Policy and Planning Committee last week to start discussing the elements of the frequent user or volume discount program and the CPI, Consumer Price Indexing, on these issues. That policy will have to be approved by the Policy and Planning Committee and the Budget and Finance Committee prior to any action taking place at the board. Our plan right now is to have the board hold a public hearing, which will be advertised at least 30 days prior, here at the MDX boardroom on March 26, 2013. But leading to that meeting, there will have been at least 5 public reviews. There would have been meetings with all the different municipal and elected officials throughout Miami-Dade County. We're not just focusing it on 836 and State Road 112. So that I wanted to make clear to the board, and there is a memo to that in your packets for reference. If there's any questions on any of these elements,